Today on Public Eye News, the University of Michigan's next president will not take the job due to a brain cancer diagnosis. And later, NMU leaders lay out a plan to maintain steady enrollment in an atmosphere of declining numbers.
Teddy Morey will have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Emily Goodacre will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Liam Yulin-Joy.
And I'm Emma Maratz. You're watching Public Eye News. The University of Michigan's next president is not going to accept his new role due to his diagnosis of brain cancer. Kent Syverud, current chancellor at Syracuse University, was announced as the university's next president in January and was set to take the role in May. Domenico Grasso, the interim president, will stay in office until a new president is selected. Syverud will serve as a professor in Michigan's law school and sit on the Board of Regents. Syverud sought help after not feeling the best last week and was diagnosed with brain cancer shortly following the appointment. And as President Trump says that peace in the Middle East is on the way, Arab American leaders in Dearborn, Michigan spoke to the press about their disappointment. A vigil for Lebanese people killed in the Iran war was also recently held in Dearborn's Peace Park. Community representatives speaking to the press widely agreed that life had not improved since Trump's inauguration. Many local officials do not regret backing Trump in 2024, saying Democrats did not offer a viable alternative to Joe Biden's Gaza policy. But the officials no longer plan to support Trump and the Republicans.
Northern Michigan University held a university forum this week, the college's first forum since the arrival of President Chris Olson in January. Dr. Olson outlined his three main priorities at the Monday forum. Those priorities are fundraising, enhancing community relationships, and enrollment, which he described as the most immediate challenge faced by NMU. NMU Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration Gavin Leach projected that the university is anticipating an enrollment decline of between 2.2% and 3.5% over the next few years, which Dr. Olson attributed to a broader trend of declining enrollment at regional universities like NMU. The president struck an optimistic tone, however, saying NMU has so far avoided the trend of declining enrollment, and its effects can be mitigated if the university takes a creative and energetic approach to the problem. And Northern has also announced its 2026 commencement speakers. They are Mark Rug, a 1980 alumnus and current partner at global law firm K&L Gates, and Blake Stenberg, a graduating secondary education student. Rug worked at the NMU Sports Information Office, played varsity tennis, and wrote for the Northwind student newspaper while at NMU. He now works at a legal practice which has a focus on the American maritime industry and the Great Lakes, becoming the only lawyer to be inducted into the Great Lakes Marine Hall of Fame. Meanwhile, Stenberg is a transfer student who earned an associate degree from Bay College before coming to NMU. He will deliver his speech shortly after returning from a student teaching trip to New Zealand. NMU commencement will take place at 10:30 a.m. on May 2nd. It will be broadcast live on WNMU TV and streamed online.
Over the weekend, the NMU football team hosted their spring open practice, where they got to show the Marquette community a glimpse of what to expect for the fall season under newly hired head coach Matt Janis. I was at the practice and was able to get a sneak peek. Take a look. As the weather warms up, so does the Wildcat football team as they prepare for a new season under head coach Matt Janis. The community showed up for the team's open practice. Junior linebacker Jax Hertel had a few words to say in regards to the upcoming season.
It's a learning experience too. I mean, everyone's coming in, not knowing each other. I think learning and making new friends, I think is great. So yeah.
Freshman Emma Geldmeyer said that she was excited about seeing the Wildcats hit the gridiron.
I just like the environment of it. Everybody excited, no matter if we win or lose. Everybody's just excited to be there and support the Wildcats.
Kids from the community also showed up to support and learn from some of their favorite Wildcats. The team is eager to get back to playing on their home field while adapting to a new coaching staff. The Wildcats hit the road for their season opener against Minnesota State University Moorhead. They then come home to the Superior Dome to face off against the Tiffin Dragons for their first home game of the season. With a new head coach guiding their way, the community rallying behind them, and all the eager NMU fans waiting for the team to hit the field, I have a feeling we're going to have a really great fall. Reporting for Public Eye News, I'm Emma Maratz. We'll be right back with your weather and statewide news after this break.
I'm Chef Yavang. In my restaurants, I share my family's Hmong heritage through the food we serve. Every bite tells a story, and the most memorable meals not only reflect who we are, they connect us. From field to table, mill to market, let's explore foods from around the world and relish the cuisines and cultures of our neighbors.
Thursday at 4:30, 3:30 Central.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Teddy Maury here with your Public Eye weather forecast. We're going to start off with a look at the enemy roof cam where you can see the snow is almost completely gone, only like really a patch of it here as the temperatures continue to rise across the upper peninsula of Michigan. As you can see, it is very sunny across most of the upper peninsula, especially in this region here. We got some cloud coverage down in the south and the east a little bit, except for in Manistee. But we have such high temperatures, including up to 65 over in Ironwood. That is nice and warm. And of course, back in Marquette, it is 54 degrees and sunny. But taking a closer look at that, we have winds coming from the east at 5 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 29.81 inches and falling. But looking into tonight, it's going to be mostly clear, so a little bit of extra clouds, but it's going to be a low of 40 degrees, winds coming from the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and our moon phase is going to be a waning crescent. But looking into tomorrow on Friday, it's going to be mostly sunny still, with a high of 58 degrees and a low of 34, with winds coming from the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour, so kind of breezy tomorrow. But looking into our weekend, we are going to be expecting some rain on Saturday and a possible chance of some snow. Fingers crossed that's not going to be happening, though. I want it to be spring. We all want it to be spring. But Saturday is going to have a high of 37 degrees and a low of 26. And Sunday is going to be partially sunny with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 27. And Monday it's going to be back to sunny with a high of 46 degrees and a low of 38. That's all I have for your weather today. Here is Emma Marantz.
Thanks, Dave, for that weather update. I really hope the snow continues to melt. Now on to statewide news. The Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee passed bipartisan legislation that will help commercial satellite owners and operators in defense against growing cybersecurity threats. Senators Gary Peters and John Cornyn will help with commercial satellites that support GPS navigation, weather forecasts, and global communications. The Senators' Satellite Cybersecurity Act of 2025 will help ensure that these satellites are safe against hackers, foreign adversaries, and cyber criminals. The Satellite Cybersecurity Act of 2025 requires the help from the Department of Commerce, along with coordination with a bunch of other organizations to help the cybersecurity elements of the satellites. And senators in Michigan have accepted a new legislation that will allow Autism Acceptance Month to be celebrated the entire month of April. Senator Michael Weber announced the idea of Autism Acceptance Month as 1 in 36 children are autistic, along with 1 in 44 adults, according to the CDC. Autism spectrum disorder, or autism, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that includes difficulty with social interactions, communication, and repetitive behaviors. Weber also introduced 2 bills that will give better help for individuals with autism. Weber stated that his son was diagnosed with autism at age 3 and that embracing autism meant to learn everything to better help his son. And today, President Trump shifts gears to the U.S. economy. He's traveling to Las Vegas to highlight his no tax on tips policy. But it comes as millions of Americans continue to grapple with skyrocketing fuel prices sparked by the nearly 7-week-long war with Iran. Wednesday, the president said the war could be coming to a close soon. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
This morning, the Pentagon gave an update on the U.S. war with Iran.
We are reloading with more power than ever before and better intelligence. Even more importantly, better intelligence than ever before, as you expose yourself with your movement to our watchful eye.
President Trump is once again hinting that the war with Iran is winding down.
I view it as very close to over.
With the ceasefire set to expire Tuesday, the White House is signaling there could be another round of peace talks soon.
Those discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal.
For now, the U.S. Navy is keeping up the pressure by blocking ships traveling to and from Iran in the Strait of Hormuz.
With this blockade, we will use force.
The Pentagon says messages like these have convinced at least 10 ships to turn around since Monday. The conflict has sent U.S. gas prices soaring in recent weeks, hitting an average of $4.11 per gallon Wednesday. That's according to AAA. President Trump and his Treasury Secretary both predict prices will plummet, but on varying timelines.
Gasoline's coming down very soon and very big.
I'm optimistic that sometime between June 20th and September 20th that we can have $3 gas again.
Meanwhile, President Trump announced overnight that the leaders of Israel and Lebanon will speak today for the first time in 3 decades, as Israel considers a possible ceasefire with Hezbollah. Jared Hill, CBS News.
We'll be right back after this short break with your Public Eye Sports Report. Stay tuned.
Our great state of Michigan is truly one of a kind. From the city streets to the small towns, you can see it all right here on Destination Michigan. We'll crisscross the state in search of the sights, the sounds, and of course the people that make Michigan the greatest state in the land. Take in the scenery, meet the people, and experience the wonder of the Great Lakes State. Come along with us as we share your stories on Destination Michigan.
Thursday at 5 p.m., 4 Central.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Emily Goodacre with your Thursday Sports Breakdown. The Detroit Tigers and Kansas City Royals squared off in a game that mixed competitive baseball with concern over player health. The Tigers, staying hot, edged the Royals 2-1 after a clutch 8th-inning homer from Wenzel Perez. Detroit extends its win streak while Kansas City's road struggles continue, dropping their 4th straight away game. Early momentum swung back and forth as both teams tried to grab control, but injuries became a key storyline alongside the action on the field. Even as play stayed tight, injuries forced adjustments to the lineup, making both dugouts shuffle plans and rely on depth throughout the matchup. Despite the setbacks, both teams fought hard until the end. And while the Tigers battled it out on the field, standout performances are being recognized closer to home. For the NMU dive team, junior Kalina Sheglinski won the first Commissioner's Award for her college career, and senior Leo Knowles won his second. Sheglinski shined this season, earning All-American honors in both the 1-meter and 3-meter dives at the NCAA Championship. Knowles was a 7-time All-American at this year's championship, and moving over to basketball, Dylan Keel added to the team's noteworthy season, receiving a Commissioner's Award as one of the top conference all-around student athletes. With multiple Wildcats earning honors, NMU continues to prove its success extends well beyond competition. And with recognition piling up across NMU programs, attention now turns to what's next on the track for the Wildcats. Coming off a strong showing at their past invite, Northern's track and field team is looking to keep it going as they gear up to take part in 5 meets across the Los Angeles area. The meets start off today with runners competing in the 10K at the Brian Clay Invitational in Azusa. The Cats continue tomorrow with the Brian Clay as well as the Leopard Invitational, and the weekend trip will wrap up on Saturday with the Beach Invitational in Long Beach. The series of events will give the Wildcats a chance to compete against some of the toughest competition across the country, and traveling west helps measure their progress against strong matches early in the outdoor season. That's all I have for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks for that sports update, Emily. Emma, how about those Detroit Tigers?
I'm really happy that we're actually starting to see more progress, but I'm really sad about the injuries.
Me too.
I do hear you have another story for us.
I sure do. Courage Incorporated is hosting a community fundraiser in Ishpeming on Saturday, April 18th. Proceeds will support free outdoor excursions for physically disabled individuals, veterans, and people living with chronic or terminal illnesses. Courage was launched in 2016 and is an all-volunteer organization. The fundraiser will be held at River Rock Lanes and Banquet Center from 3 to 7 p.m. with an entry fee of $15.
That sounds like a really cool event. I might have to go take a peek at it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they're offering that service. It's been around now for a decade.
And that's all the time we have at Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Maratz.
And I'm Liam Yulenjoy.
We'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.